Hey guys, we're here with the Hollywood Life podcast, and we have a very fabulous surprise visitor today. And I say surprise because we didn't know until she was coming in until yesterday, and we're so happy to have her. We are here with Farrah Abraham and her daughter, Sophia. Welcome.
Yes, thanks for having us. Yeah, Sophia is turning the big 10. So we're in NYC together. We're loving it.
Party on.
Yes, all month long.
Yes, I should have said surprise guest, but Sophia is being very sweet, and she's actually being quiet because she is chowing down, yes. Which I can totally understand. And we're also here with our writer, Jenna Lemoncelli.
What's up, Jenna?
Hey.
Shout out.
And our silent producer, Nick.
What's up, Nick? Nick's in the house.
Nick looks very tan. He was just on holiday.
Oh my God, holiday?
In Miami.
Oh, Miami.
Was it Miami, Nick?
We'll count down until Super Bowl next year. I'll be there.
Right.
Well, yes, we don't like to let him out of the house, but the law said we had to.
Yeah. Oh my God. Boss vibes.
Love it.
That's right. So listen, Farrah, you're in town because X on the Beach, the reunion is happening.
Their first reunion ever. I'm very happy. You know, every time I'm a part of an MTV show or VH1, there's Viacom, you know, some good things happen for the shows that I'm a part of. So yeah, their first reunion, and I will be stopping by and taking it over.
Well, we expect that you'll take it over because you really did take over the show too.
Yeah.
For real.
You know, yes. I'm so happy that they gave me like a Farrah, I don't know what was, some Farrah party. And it was very sweet. You know, I got to meet the winners of like Survivor and Big Brother, and these adults all came from many different places. So I'm happy to see how, I guess, the celebrity dynamics have changed over time in these housing like shows for the celebrities. So they really
because you did Celebrity Big Brother, right?
Yeah, in UK, and I've done some for VH1, like a couple of series. I mean, I've lived with a bunch of celebrities. I put my fingers up like that. So this one was very different because I came from like ABC, like different networks,
That's
and
right.
put them all together.
That's right.
And that's why I was open, I think, to continue the journey on that, because I was actually told it was another dating show, and I don't really know if you would call X on the Beach a dating show. That's up to you guys.
Well, what convinced you to do it? Because I mean, it could be really uncomfortable to be there with your ex.
Yeah, but I didn't know it was for.
And you were there with Simon.
Simon showed up. Yeah, Simon showed up. I think many people know him from. I mean, I broke up with him probably many of times on Teen
That's
Mom.
right. We saw.
So
how long did you guys actually date?
You know, some people say we dated for like 3 years. I really just am like, maybe it was 2. I mean, when I keep having to kick someone out of my life and break up with them.
It was like on and off, right?
Yeah, you just start like not even counting the time you're with people like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I just maybe say 2 years. But I learned a lot. I can't have any regrets about it. But I think we all realized since now in the show, like I was definitely over him and he was out. But we'll see more as the season unfolds because there's still a lot of lie detector tests and some fun other people showing up.
What did you learn from that relationship? Because you just said I learned a lot.
Yeah, I really learned a lot, and I'm not a man hater. Okay,
good. I'm glad to hear that.
I just have to say that because I know a lot of guys just hear women say negative things, but this is just feedback. I just learned a lot about. I mean, I've traveled all over the world. I've been, you know, celebrity feature at strip clubs and many other things. And I have seen the worst in the opposite sex, and I have seen the best. I think dating someone for 2 years or whatever that was, I saw a lot of use of myself as a single mom. I just didn't understand a guy trying to use a single mom so much. It was just very eye-opening.
Mm-hmm.
And
so
that
you
just
felt
came
used.
it just came to like money, friends, and really at the end of it, I just saw really how petty some person could be. And that does affect a mom and her daughter when they do date someone like that. And maybe people just don't think they affect, you know, kids and single parents. But when you date one, I think that's something to learn from.
And I watched this unfold on Teen Mom with all of this. And I have to say, I think you handled it very well, which like just dealing with what he he did and said, and it's just I'm happy for you that that's over and that's different and it's over in your life.
It's a positive. I mean, everything's a positive. I'm not trying to, I just think we need to think about how yes, things do affect other people and your circumstances. So
well, and the thing is that you really, as a single parent, you have to think so carefully about anyone you date and how it's going to affect Sophia and when you'd even introduce them to Sophia.
And a lot of my single parent friends, female or male, it's very like tricky with us dating. And it's like, okay, so if I'm going to spend my time like this, or should I be waiting till after bedtime and then I go out and then I come? It's really a balancing act. So however we're dating, running our companies and having our families and trying to put dating in there, it is a serious decision. And I think that's why I said I'm just taking it. I don't need to date. If it fits in my life, it fits in. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
I love that independence that you have too. And you've always had that with your career and motherhood and everything like that.
I just like hit an end of a decade. And when it turned 2019, I got to look back on, I think Sophia's father's loss to my life really was like, I don't know. I had an epiphany, guys. Like at his 10th anniversary of his car accident, like the whole family, I went to the Midwest. I was with them. We really had like a different way of looking at life after loss and freedom and joy and still living. And I feel like now it's like, maybe I was attracting certain people and behaviors because I was like, maybe I'm not living through my life, or maybe I won't live. And it's like, oh my God, we made it past 10 years. Like we are living, we are happy.
Oh, it's a long time.
And I think someone who never expected to lose someone who they also loved and had a child with, maybe I was just like going through a human condition of, is this what this is like? And I realized we could be doing it a little bit better. So I hope this next decade we just kind of like live more and not be sad and not hold ourselves back. And I think that's why I like to take my daughter and travel and show her new things, because even when we're traveling, she's like, oh, should I be looking at this? Should I be seeing this? Like, Dad's not with us. I'm like, yes, we should. So it's kind of just like some weird learning curves. And I think that's something with dating too. It's like, yeah, you do deserve what you want and who you're looking for. And
well, I think when you have such a traumatic loss like what you had, I mean, that was a devastating loss, and you were very young and you were pregnant. And I don't think that it probably has taken you the 10 years to just realize the impact that had and the grieving. That's
my
normal, the
parents were
grieving,
that
I it would take that long.
Our grandparents were like, and they go through their own, they've been going through their own thing. But they were just like, I don't think we really realized how much it impacted you and Sophia at that time with everything you were like. I always keep busy, try to stay out of trouble, kind of, stay focused. But they were like, that really actually was affecting you. And now that they're just like, oh, now we're seeing a little bit of a different recognition of it. So everyone who has lost someone, just don't be as rough on them when they're dating or making mistakes, especially if they're in the public eye. Just kind of be more authentic to what they're going through and understanding of it's hard. The human condition of loss and happiness, it's like this whole cycle, and however we do it, we do it.
And
it's very hard.
Yeah. And after that decade that you said you reflect on everything, and I'm assumed, reflected on how much you've grown and everything, you also need to pat yourself on the back too, because Bonnie, I was down there watching her photo shoot, and you were such a good mom. I saw it in literally like just a few minutes, the way you were handling Sophia and, having her incorporated in the photo shoot and in your life. Like, you've incorporated her in so many different things.
Always.
And as a single mother, like, you have done stellar. For real.
I appreciate it. I really do. It means the world.
Yeah.
And I can never try. I feel like it's every day. You just try your hardest with being the best parent you can. We just have different challenges. No day is the same in our life because Sophia's online schooled and we're just different places. So we just keep on our mantras and helping our relationship and seeing how that goes.
Well, and also you became a mom at a very young age.
Yeah.
And you also had
16 and up.
That's very, very young to become a mother and a single mother. And also, you had issues with your own parents. So it's not like you had this family that was just so stable and also role models that you wanted to be exactly like.
Yeah.
You had to forge your own path
Yes.
as to what type of mother you wanted to be.
Yes, and I'm very proud of my parents. I think we've all grown so much. I have to say, it's in big thanks to the therapists, the trauma therapists, and a lot of the counselors and people who I've had over the years. Because by shaping me and helping me see that I can't control other people, it's really been like, okay, if you can't help people connect with you better, then all you can do is use yourself as a tool to hopefully help the relationship. And that's kind of where, I learned to sculpt and guide and help my parents grow, because they are not open to change. After a certain age, some people are just like, no, this is my way. And that's kind of where my parents got. They hit that rock and it was just their way or the highway. And, over like 2 birthdays last year, this year, like my mom is like totally different person. She's like, thank you so much for just changing a little bit of yourself. And it's helped me recognize how I need to change. And same way with my father. So she's still, she does her own therapy on her own. We did that show called Facing the Truth with Vivica Fox. And I don't know if that ever helps anyone face the truth, but she was like, okay, so since that was such a traumatic experience, we're giving you 6 months of therapy.
Wow.
And I was like,
whoa, that's worth its weight in gold.
Right?
I was like, well, that is a good point. Because some of those shows are pretty nuts. They'll shake up your family dynamics a bit. And it could be comedic or it could be really stressful. And so I was happy that they did that for my mom. So it was
really family therapy for 6 months.
Yeah. And so we're still finishing that.
Oh, good.
Yeah. It hasn't been 6 months since then.
How would you say that your relationship to your mother in particular has changed since there was such tension between you?
Well, there's been so much that has gone on, from childbirth to divorces to being remarried again for her. And she still stays in the Midwest. She comes out and she visits. She's just gotten like a better sense of understanding to let us live our lives. There's no control. There's no telling us what to do. And she may not know really what to say to, when I'm running my companies, she comes by to help, and sometimes her help doesn't really help. So she learned that she has her expertise and her focus, and she just wants to be there and love on us. So it's really a good place. And she sent Sophia birthday gifts, even though we can't be together. Maybe we'll see each other in LA. But, she's there as a grandma, and she understands, like, we're not going to fly in every year. We're not going to, so she gets, and she just supports everything, and life is pretty good.
You guys have come a long way.
Yeah. She's changed a lot. I've
really
changed
long
a lot.
way.
I'm just very proud of my parents, and I'm very proud of our relationship now, of where it is.
Good, because we did see the struggles on Teen Mom of exactly what you just said. You trying to beg her to understand where you're coming from and leave you in your own path.
I think that's so 2008. And, we continue to get stuck in those rounds of, I think I could fix this relationship like this. There's actually new ways of fixing your relationships. There's new ways of thinking, and you really just need to be open to trying it. And that's what I did. And honestly, less energy towards something is really the better.
Well,
Right.
I think what I find inspiring is that a lot of people, when they have problems with their parents, just cut them off. They don't give them a chance to grow the relationship or try and fix things. And parents can do the same thing.
Yes.
And so I do think that you're a great example of not doing that, of continuing to work at your relationship. Because listen, you only have one family.
That's right.
Yeah.
And there's just ways of shaping it. And if someone goes over your boundaries, whether that's trying to overstep any boundary in any kind of way, just lessen it. So if my mom, for instance, wanted to keep tagging me on all of her stuff on social media, and I was like, Mom, I've told you many of times to stop that. I'm not trying to have a family dynamic that goes back and forth online, that does all these things online. I feel like that's just not how I want to live my life. And so I kind of blocked her for a little bit, and I'm like, you can message me, you can talk to me, rather than telling people you've talked to me and you just put it on social media. Because for us and our bonding experience in our relationship, that was not going to work. That works for other celebrity family relationships, and I think that's inspirational to some degree, but it wasn't going to help us with ours.
Yeah.
Yes. Good to take it offline.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
And
now that you guys are in a good place, it worked clearly.
Yes.
So what do you expect to happen on the reunion, X on the Beach
reunion
what can you
tease?
show?
Everyone keeps asking me, like, what do you expect?
Well, of course.
The producers and executive, they don't tell me anything anymore, which I prefer, because I just like to be a surprise and just kind of enjoy whatever is there. I mean, I just said because I'm on probation. I literally am on probation right now for something so silly.
Wait, on the probation?
With the network or?
Yeah, I'm on a probation network. It's a new one. Okay. I just signed that contract. And no, I'm on probation because of the Beverly Hills Hotel.
Oh, yeah.
I call it a scenario because
that would,
hold my car, hold my phone, and attack me. I mean, the bear can only be poked so much, but I lived through it. And I got to do 50 hours of community service, and it really was good. And I actually feel like, God puts you in weird situations, and I helped so many people doing my community service.
What did you do for your community service?
It was actually at Austin Animal Center, and I really met a lot of other people who were doing their community service. I mean, there was people who came from adoptive backgrounds, and, they have so many great things for their education, and it's free. So
it's called Austin Animal Center?
Yes.
And is it in LA?
Austin, Texas.
Oh, it is. You went to Austin for it.
Yeah, and I also just needed to get out of LA to complete it. I just didn't think that was wise. So I went back to Austin where it's calmer. But so among, seeing a lot of animals and vets and everything like that, and where I could help and what they needed, whether it's more yoga mats for their surgeries and everything else with the animals, because I love that.
Yeah. What exactly did you do at the animal center?
I mean, they just only had me do dishes and clothes. I'm like, I feel like I'm at home. It was so
right.
But it's like the human beings who you get to meet, like whether they're adoptive backgrounds or I met other entrepreneurs who wanted some guidance. And I'm finishing this master class of mine. It's called Ambition into Reality for entrepreneurs. And I just got to guide them, and they loved it so much. Like, they didn't know they were going to come in and have a celebrity talk to them, be with them, show them some of my businesses there in Austin. It was really awesome. So you can just make connections with whatever and help so many people along the way. So it's cool that I was on probation, I guess.
And that's inspiring in its own. Yeah. The relationships that you cultivated and things that you've seen, and stepping out of your comfort zone a little bit.
And
I mean,
continuing to help them get dogs adopted. I did a post while I was there. The next day, half of the center was empty. Literally.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Because
they had full
Instagrammed about it.
Yeah. They had full cages, over tons of puppies. The next day, half of it was completely gone, shut down. I was like, this is crazy. And it's also a no kill, which is different than most. So yes, those dogs were really adopted, really taken care of. It was wild, guys. It's been wild.
Well, I would have been tempted to adopt them all.
Right?
They're so cute.
A negative into a positive. I love that.
Yes.
So you're
sorry if I got off on a tangent.
Right, because we were talking about what to expect on the X on the Beach reunion show.
Oh, how did that go from that to probation? I have no idea. Oh, well, they did. I did go to a court thing in the show, and that's when they were like, free Farrah, free Farrah. I wonder if they're going to have my signs there at the reunion special, because I don't know what happened to them. I haven't seen them.
Your free Farrah signs.
Yeah, and some girl attacked them because she was being nuts. So,
my gosh.
Yeah, it's weird. And also, it's even though I don't know what everyone's relationship is, I haven't really been in touch with anyone from the show. People are like, come on my podcast, come on, be a part of my music videos, all this stuff. I just been focusing on my life. It's I need to get far away from my ex and X on the Beach, because I feel like it's going backward, and I live so much in my present and forward. And that's why I was like, is this a dating show? Because, they got me in there saying, be open to love. This is dating. This is celebrity.
Right, because you could date someone else's ex.
Yeah, but
right?
I don't do that. You know, like I'm not like
it just seems for
Jordyn
a recipe.
Woods with, you know, or all of her drama today. It's like
you just made my day.
Yeah, it's just like incestual stuff I'm not cool with. It's like eating someone's shit. I'm not cool with it, you know?
Hey, you got a point.
No, but it's true. So, I mean, and then, you know, like the girls, they love that. Like if in the house, they're like, oh, I got your man. Like some girls feed off that. So you got to ask yourself what kind of dater you are. Are you going to take someone else's man? Are you going to go find some new territory and hunt that out? I'm just one to not date anyone from my productions, anyone from like talent world, like no sports players, no entertainers. I mean, I'm open to probably dating like a director or something of that nature because that's over there. I mean, the highest I could go is like produce. Well, maybe I do direct and do some of my own stuff, but that's just, you know, they have to help you rise higher. And I would say most of the little pond that I swim in right now, they do not help me rise higher. So I don't swim with that.
Well put.
And would you like to date somebody? I mean, you said maybe a director, but somebody who's just like not in the entertainment business at all, just a business person. I guess Simon was a business person.
No, I mean, and that's another thing. Like again, this masterclass that I have 20 videos up. I talk about all that from your family supporting you to who you're dating. I feel like you almost clash when you're an entrepreneur, a business person. The person who you're dating is like, I don't know if you girls have had the case of this, but this is what I get a lot. I get a lot of these guys who are self-made. They act like they're businessmen. And they just want to like shove it down my throat. And I could literally do the same thing, act like egotistical and crazy like they do. But I'm like, yeah, oh well, self-made, doing it, loving it. I don't complain about anything anymore because I'm too old for that. I just understand that it's very rigorous out there. If you want to be an entrepreneur, if you want to be the best business person, then don't taint the name of entrepreneur and self-made, which I think when you complain all the time and when you act like you can't handle the stress of it, that irks me. Mm-hmm. And Slimin is what I'm going to call him. He could not, Slimeball.
That's epic.
He could not deal with business on a daily basis. I mean,
in what way? Why? Because of the stress?
And Teen Mom, they're like, you know, they show him coming in the kitchen and I'm like trying to do a million things at one time and he's just like in the way. And yes, I'm the bad person because I'm like, why aren't you helping me? Why aren't you yelling? Like, I'm like yelling at him. But it's like, you have to be able to help people be a team player, even if it's your company. Like, there's just a lot of parts that you need to get your company done. And I don't think he's willing to be that team player all the time. Mm-hmm. With his staff or even with him coming to help other bosses. There is that 1% that I tolerate. And that's why I'm cool. I'm cool. I mean, I've had love of my life. I've had my daughter. I have, you know, a lot of things that people wait for, like in their 30s or 40s now. And it's okay. I'm grateful.
Yeah, you're super independent and you're focusing on yourself, your work. I mean, you just told us before.
Sophia.
Yeah, and Sophia, and you're not looking to date anyone right now. And
it's really weird. It's really weird how he's just like set up to just be so strong-minded. Like, I'm about this strong journey. But that's just how it was. That's just how I am.
And I feel like you were kind of forced to grow up faster than a lot of people too. So your maturity level exudes a lot of people.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a lot of depth of letdowns, but of a lot of highs of amazing things. So with all of that, hopefully we find someone great.
Exactly.
So you haven't given up on love totally then?
I'm not giving up, but I just don't need to date. You know, I feel like my mom was very much like, my mom was like putting on like Christian marriage DVDs when she was over at my house. And like, she wasn't even engaged or married yet, but she was like, I had this whole sphere of like, I need to date. And I think that's good. Like, good. That's good on you. But I also really like my alone time. Like, I like being alone. I like focusing. And I like to just turn on a date. Okay, here's a little app. Okay, I want to go on a date tonight.
Oh, yeah. You mentioned you were on an app.
So Cove. You know, get some perks, see some new things.
What's it called?
Cove.
How do you spell that?
COVE. Super simple. I don't know why they call it Cove. I thought it had something to do with like water or like vacation.
Exactly. Beaches.
But they do give you like a black card for travel. You get perks. You get 3 months for free on that.
And is it actually a dating
Starbucks.
app?
Yeah. So it's like Here, I'm going to actually pull it up because who knows? I probably have like a million missed messages.
So,
and by the way, I got kicked off Bumble.
You got kicked off?
For doing nothing. I was just in the friend and like the business. But like they got a lot of people saying that I was like a fake profile. And I'm like, aren't celebrities all using Bumble? And yeah, they like kicked me off.
Oh my gosh.
So it's like, okay.
And they didn't believe it was really you.
Yeah. I'm like, so that was a mess. But now that I have Cove, it's much easier. These guys have some really good things going for them, I would say, hopefully.
And do they have a lot of people on there to choose from?
Yeah, I would say, well, in the Bahamas where I was at, there was nobody in the Bahamas yet. I was like, oh, I hope. But Dubai, I was just in. Bali didn't have many. New York, though, has been really a hot spot for dating.
Yes.
The dating here must be wild, to say the least.
Right.
So lots of guys on Bumble in New York. And what
yeah.
about
Cove.
LA?
Yeah, Cove.
Right. No,
Okay,
but
so
on
look,
Cove.
this is cool. So it says exchange one more text to reach level 2. So you get different levels, and guys can just send you like a gift of points. So you can go get a gift card too. They just send them.
So the more you chat, the more perks you get from the app.
Yes, but I still don't like this guy. His name's Adrian, and they're also timing you. Like you have
Hi,
time
Adrian.
limits. Like I only have like 5 hours and 4 minutes and 16 seconds to get back to Adrian. Like there's a time. It's like
Oh my gosh.
So Cove encourages conversation
Yeah.
and encourages you to get back and forth
Yes.
with each other.
But I don't get, okay, so this guy's like, awesome, want to grab a drink with me Friday? Well, I'm gone, obviously, so no. But he's like, texts me and then has a kissy face. And it's like, why would I text you when I could just keep talking to you in this and get more perks? Duh.
Right.
So I know how to play the dating game very well. I mean, if anyone, I've probably made the most money off of being single my whole life. So you got to give it up to me for that.
Hey, exactly. Right.
Okay, so you're not really on
Cardi
Cove.
B is not going to hate on that. She's like, grab that bag.
That's right.
You're not on Cove to date. You're on Cove to make
Get my perks.
Yeah, get some perks.
Hey, gotta
But
do what you gotta do.
It's when you least expect it. That's when you're going to meet somebody.
That's what they say.
Girls, I haven't been expecting it.
Girl, you and me both.
But I will say, for Sophia's father, I wasn't expecting that. I was actually dating someone else at the time, and I showed up. It was my actual ex-girlfriend, my best friend's boyfriend. So, like, there's magical things that happen in our lives that are just, oh, it is starting to snow out. But then there's just times where you're like, okay, it's been 10 years. Like, I have given up. I have gone off the beaten path. Okay. So
You've always formed your own
silly.
path, though.
Yeah.
So, like you said, Bonnie, when she least expects it on her own path, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like I've traveled the world and dated. I'm like, where is it gonna happen? And by the way, there's no other country that's like meet your man. Like right now, they're trying to sell Tel Aviv to all of us single women. They're like, here's your trips to Tel Aviv. Meet your man. It's like.
So so they're
People
trying
are
to
toying with the single women.
that the
Right?
Israeli men are desperate for women to come. Huh? Is there more
I don't
men
know,
there
is it
than
like
women?
a green card thing? I don't know. I gotta watch
Yeah,
out.
yeah, I would
gotta
watch that.
out.
Now
I do go to workout classes. Like I'm wearing this Go Tech Studio stuff too. I'm like all about the.
I love those pants,
looking like
by the
I
way.
work out, and plus I think it's kind of more. Maybe guys are more attracted to the I work out, not workout look.
Yep. Hey.
So I'm
the
trying that out.
athleisure look.
And
Right.
in X on the Beach on the house, so I was boxing all the time. I had my trainers coming.
Which you look incredible.
I hope for this reunion special they do like a fun like boxing or like I just want some fun games really for the reunion. I don't want people like storing on stage. Oh, that's why I was talking about the probation. Is because every time I'm on a reunion, like the last reunion I showed up to, I think it was for Teen Mom. I think Amber like stormed on stage and tried to fight me. I'm like, guys, I'm on probation. I can't be having any of that. So
No.
bring my
Yeah.
own security. And they understand how serious I
When
am.
will you be done with your probation?
Is it 2 years? Yeah, and who puts an unrealistic probation time of 2 years on someone? By that point, I'm going to be 30. Like,
Well,
So how far do you have to go still?
well, I don't even know when the time started. So
I remember reading that.
But I mean, that
and it
is
was
a
like-
big deal.
I don't know when the time has
Yeah.
started, but I will. obviously contact my lawyer about it. So, I mean, she just had her last like court thing for it. I didn't have to go to this one. So, yeah, I mean, I just think it's a good thing anyways. It's like, sorry, guys, I can't come. Or sorry, if you're going to act like that, I can't do the show. Like, it's actually protected me from drama and bad things that I don't want, that I don't accept in my life. So it's actually, I mean, I like that I can use probation. There's always a positive to your negative.
Right? For real. Everything always works out.
Yeah, well, that's a really good way to look at it. Chris Brown should have looked at it that way. His boy, he kept like...
Is he still on probation?
Well,
I
no,
don't know
he
when this
finally
stops.
got off probation, but he got in so much trouble for not being good all the time on probation, and he ended up back in jail. Like, it took him like 10 years to get off probation.
You know what I'm proud about? I have never had a mugshot. Like, even though they try to put me in jail, I'm like,
that's right, girl.
You're not going to hear the end of this if you take me one step further. And I think they just, I can get a mouth problem when I want one. And they're like, I think the cops like are so repulsed. They're like, they took my, like, I didn't want to get in the cop car. And I like beat the back of the guy's seat like senseless with my heels. I had these phenomenal heels from Europe on. And I'm like, you picked the wrong night because these are like Brazilian. These are badass. So and then he's like, you need to take off your heels. You need to stop it. I'm like, you're evil. So I do get like very single mom is loose crazy when cops trying to like ruin my time.
Yeah.
Oh dear!
But no mugshot. No mugshot.
Please don't have any more run-ins with cops.
No. I think they're my friends. They're like, Farrah, like here in New York. They're like, oh my God, it's Farrah Abraham. Like I've
really,
been stopped
they recognize
in Central
you?
Park. The guy like freaked out. Yeah, they're like, can I have a photo for my wife? Like, you're going to put me in jail and your wife loves me? What?
Well, the cop here wasn't going to put you in jail. Those were the Beverly Hills cops.
Right.
They're the bad boys.
Oh my gosh.
So now you also did some partying with Sophia here for her 10th
in New York,
birthday.
yeah.
Here in New York.
Yes. Oh my God. The Plaza Hotel is one of our favorite places. The Palm, where you can have the best tea parties.
It's such a good tea party place.
Okay, so I do need to post this. But Sophia had the best birthday cake. It was an actual teapot, and it matched perfectly. It matched so effortlessly. And it was an Oreo cookie, I think, on the inside. So
I'm hungry.
So moms out there, if you want some birthday cake ideas, I've got to show you this cake. It's amazing.
It sounds like Beauty and the Beast, Mrs. Potts.
Yeah.
It was.
A Mrs. Potts cake.
Mrs. Potts cake.
And you guys are going to celebrate when you're in LA too. You have another party planned.
Yes. Well, Sophia had 2 birthday parties. So it was, one at the Plaza yesterday and then another one. And it had an ice cream cone at the top. I mean, waffles, Skittles, you name it. I mean, you can go dessert crazy. Sophia had a sugar high.
I bet.
And then we went to see Lion King on Broadway. And that just, took her levels down. She passed out.
Right, $500 a ticket and she's asleep.
Yeah. I mean, how much did I spend yesterday? Who knows? God only knows. If it's birthdays and happiness, I'm so giving.
Right.
Well,
and those are special moments.
Yeah, and you only turn 10 once.
You only turn 10 once. You're only going into tween once. Sophia's like really into her teen. It's like
she is
like,
a tween.
Leave me alone. I'm on my phone. Don't look at me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Like she was like tapping on her phone before. I was like, oh my God, she is a tween. It's happening right before your eyes.
I have to do Justice is really multiplying off of the tween phase. Like she got 5 different gifts in different cities from Justice. So
From Justice.
I don't know what it is, but it's like 10, 11, 12, 13, like
at that clothing store.
tweens are taking over
It's
that.
like a clothing store named Justice, and it's like super appealing, super cool, like all fun colors.
I mean, everyone's into it.
Yeah.
I get it. Okay. Now, in terms of her education, because she is, when you said she's online educated, how do you do that? And how do you keep track of it?
Yes. For some of the other moms. So I looked at different programs. There's many different ones in different states. So some were like, okay, you have to have 2 years of public school before you can go here, or private school or whatever. So Laurel Springs is actually based in Los Angeles, Calabasas area. And there's a lot of different kids for an entertainment, whatnot. It seemed to fit so that Sophia had options and can, whether it was filming or whatever, she could do schoolwork. I found that to be the best one. I couldn't do traditional, like at home schooling where I'm like sitting down and doing it with her. I almost couldn't run my companies when I tried that. So I did try it. Wasn't the best fit. If you have more time as a mom, at home school totally is awesome. But online, she gets her, her FaceTimes, her calls. She can text, email with the teacher direct.
So she gets FaceTime with the teachers.
Yeah. And they have their once a month gatherings for kids. They have all of these clubs. And then they have 24/7 tutors. So if she just needs something at any time, because sometimes the teachers don't have hours when we're on, she can literally ask them anything. So it's really been easy. There's less drama, no bullying, no this, no that. It's strictly let's focus for the betterment of Sophia, see what she needs, help her get it done. And I don't always have to, I kind of feel like too much of a mom with schooling could almost ruin your relationship in a little bit of a way. So I try to be helpful and not overstep it.
And how do you make sure she's doing her homework, her assignments?
So every day, just to make them responsible and be held responsible, it's okay, where have we started? What's the goal for today? Where do you want to leave off? Okay, let's kind of plan out our week. Sometimes it goes to plan, sometimes it goes better, sometimes it's not hitting where we need to go. So it's a lot of trial and error throughout the year.
I love that. It seems like it's such an accommodable source.
Has been easy. It has been easier than I have ever thought.
And what grade is she in now?
4th. And then we're going to be going into 5th here soon.
Oh, okay.
And I'm excited for her middle school, and because we toy with the idea of will we continue it after middle school into high school, or will we have Sophia do high school? Clearly, from my high school experiences, I want to kind of avoid any further bullying that continues. Mm-hmm. And 16 and pregnant. Let's leave that in 16 and pregnant,
Right. You don't want her repeating your pattern in that way.
Yeah. And I think, being around minds and social influences of, birds and bees, having a first boyfriend, those things, prom and all of that. I think it's great. You can go to dances and you can do those things. But I don't think relationships at that time are important because people change so much. You don't know really who you're dating.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I mean, I'm 28 and I don't, if I tried to date people right now, I really feel like I don't think they know who they are at our ages. And that's why I'm
it's still young.
Yeah.
I mean, it is still young.
I guess it is still young for many.
It is. Listen, here in New York, most women don't get married till they're 30. I would say on average.
One of my friends waited till she was 40. So she was always like, Farrah, I think you grew up in a way of so young. People change so much, and they do. And I see it even more. So that's why I'm a little bit I don't need a date. I don't think they know who they are yet.
So would you like to see Sophia go to college?
Yeah, I think Sophia she's owned her own store, her own companies, and her own business. I think, go to college for something that can help, be totally different outside of what our families accomplished. So I'm if that's a doctor or something that needs the college, I feel and it's honesty, I didn't really use the 2 of the degrees that I got. So I learned better from real world experiences, just being who I am and digging further. So I just say to her, don't waste your college funds on something that you could have learned easily or what you already know. Mm-hmm. Go for something that actually challenges you and gets you further. If that's a PhD or a master's just to have it, just go and have it. So that's up to her if she wants to do it.
Yeah, and she's 10 now, so she's going to figure things out as she goes along.
Yeah, and if she's already owning her own companies, you never know what's going to happen.
She's owning her own companies. Maybe
but then there's another level.
That's right. Maybe she wants to get an MBA.
Yeah,
for sure.
My mom did.
And your mother got an MBA? Wow.
Yeah. So she doesn't use it. So that's what I say is be careful with how you spend your time. Education is one of those things that you will dedicate a lot of your time, and if you don't know what you're doing, you need to figure out what you're going to do. And I just say that about education.
Now, we saw in an interview you did yesterday, though, you don't think you want to have more kids.
It just doesn't seem plausible right now.
And did you see her abs downstairs in the photo shoot? I mean,
look, I was very proud of myself this past year with the boxing. I mean, I had abs that I haven't seen since I was in soccer. So... And I was very athletic, but I don't know. One of my girlfriends, she's adopting right now, and they're well, we don't really want to adopt a baby. We're going to adopt the same age with, they're 10. So we're going to adopt a 10-year-old. Wow. She's why go backwards when we could go forwards and just keep going? So like I'm open to adoption. I feel, again, like I don't want to necessarily go backward if it feels backwards.
Okay. So if you were
like, you gotta love someone a lot, you gotta go through all that stuff. If I ever have a relationship again, yes, it's gonna be a marriage. It's gonna be everything couples do. Mm-hmm. And so I don't know. But if it's not the right thing, I'm not gonna make someone be there and, make them go through all that.
Exactly.
So it does sound like you're open.
I'm always open.
You're open
for the right situation.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good to be. Listen, like
I never close the door.
Good. Well,
but I just know what I want.
Yeah.
Exactly. And if you were saying, about going forward and you were open to adoption, and just to confirm, she's not adopting, but if you were to adopt, would you consider going, how would you do it? Yeah.
So and I think if anyone wants to play with variables with their time and their future, it's kind of like, okay, what if we wanted to do that? This is how we do it. I don't know if anyone got to see the movie Instant Family. That was amazing.
Oh, yes. Instant Family. Oh.
Well, they talk about like the other movie with Sandra Bullock where, they just want to adopt the football player and have an ad. And then like Instant Family, they showed all of the different variables of adopting and different parents. And really it was comedic, but it was also very tragic because the girl who was living with them then wanted to run away, go back to her mom. I just grew up with a lot of people who were all of my neighbors adopted. I think I grew up with over like 40 kids who were in foster care and adopted. And it was so, because we lived in huge homes. So like these 4-story homes could take on like tons of kids, really. And I saw the good and the bad, and I know how I would hope to help and guide and support someone's life if I adopted. And I know also how to be another mother again if I had another child again.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you've got great experience being a mom, so
yeah,
you could apply it again.
I mean, I just like to help people, whether that's just doing like being an angel, helping them through their court system and stuff like that. I know I would dedicate some of my time to that in my future.
Well, listen, it has been wonderful.
Sorry, we got off the topic of X on the Beach. It's so light, isn't it?
It's been wonderful to see you again, Farrah, and to meet Sophia in person.
Oh, Sophia's real.
And she's been so good.
Her hair is so beautiful.
Yeah,
she's
sitting here.
Hi, cutie.
Well, you're doing this interview, and we will look forward to watching you on the X on the Beach reunion.
Oh, it's going to be special.
And when does that
the
air?
First, the only. That will probably be airing. I think there was 12 episodes. Maybe they got through 8 episodes.
Yeah, because it just started in December, so we have some episodes to go through.
It's been taking a while. I'm guessing if March is practically here, so I'm hoping by the end of March or maybe April.
Cool. We'll let our readers know.
Yes.
It's coming. It's coming real strong.
Coming.
And it's gonna be good.
Yes. I don't know. I hope my ex doesn't show up.
I have a feeling he will.
The weather, he could not make it.
Oh, that's true. There is a snowstorm. That could get you out of it. But I have a feeling they like to have the ex. Have the exes
things
there.
up.
Exactly.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
I love seeing you guys.
Thank you.
Come back again.